Hello and welcome back
Hi.
to another episode of the Undergrads. I am your co-host, Mama, yeah.
Wow.
I had to think of something.
So I have to do that. Here we go. I'm your co-host, AJ.
She's in today, you guys. We have a special guest with us. Mm-hmm. You have to sing your name like that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm Frank, y'all, but my rap name is Ben FJR.
Okay.
Wait, what is it?
Ben FJR.
Ben
so
FJR.
it's like it's short for Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin.
That's what you called it.
Yeah, you didn't get that? Benjamin Franklin Jr.
Wow. What made you think of that?
I always be saying like I'm his grandson. And
oh no.
Okay.
All right.
That's cool. Not you up here trying to promote your music.
No, honestly.
So, Jamarian.
Yes.
What year are you currently?
Senior.
You're a senior.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're graduating next May.
This May.
Oh yeah, this May.
May 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You got a countdown, don't you?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Plans coming out?
Teach, coach, rap, everything.
You want to teach?
Yeah, I want to teach.
What do you want to teach?
Middle to high, nothing lower than that.
He said, I don't like them kids. Don't send them
maybe like some English, writing, language arts. I'm into that. I like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is so crazy. So when I was thinking about it, and they just like, she was a little worried. She was like, okay, is he going to know what to talk about?
Yeah.
Because I will admit, in all of those years, so I've had Damarian in like 1, 2, 3 of my classes, and I feel like I still never knew the dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'd sit near the dude if we were in classes because he was a familiar face, but I feel like I never really knew you.
For sure.
I also worked with the athletic training people, and he's on the football team. So I would always see him like each summer's school year, whatever, football season. And like literally, I would just hand him water and just like never just never talk. Like everybody on the football team, they always got something to say. Yeah, they always got something to say. Like they're walking past you. Oh yeah, I touched field 4 minutes. Okay,
so
like for real. And I'm like, I don't really. Okay, but like I would always just hand him water, or he would have his own water, and like I just like never knew the dude.
He didn't want your water?
No, really.
That's so. You are kind of quiet though. Yeah. You appear quiet.
That was kind of like the point of kind of doing this, like trying to show people a little bit of my personality, because when it was just football, I'm strictly that. I ain't really trying to. There's no reason to, but like going into music, like people want to know who you is.
Yeah.
At the same time,
Definitely.
I'm a person,
Like, yeah, of course. Yes,
now
of course.
I see.
Yeah.
Was a ghost for a minute.
Yeah.
So what's your major? Well, yeah.
Sociology.
Okay. And are you minoring in English or any of that?
No, so I originally wanted to be a school counselor, right? Because I want to get back in touch, like just the young kids who like us, African Americans and stuff, kind of help them before they get to a point where they can't turn around. But you got to go to school 4 more years.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that. So it's like, what other way could I touch them? It's like teachers, I had teachers like affect my life so I could, help them that way. So I'm still in the school system helping the kids.
Oh, that's cool. So how can you, so you don't have, but you won't have a teaching degree?
No, so I'll just have to get like a certification.
Oh, okay.
He can take a test.
Yep.
Yeah. I think in North Carolina, right? You want to teach in North Carolina or somewhere else? Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got all type of programs for teachers, like Teach for America. That's just one of the like more popular ones, but it's a lot.
That's good though. I feel like teachers they're kind of like nurses in the hospital.
Yeah.
They have more interaction with the kids, and so they're more impressionable on the kids than like counselors.
Or principals.
I never went to my counselor.
No.
Me neither.
Yeah. No, yeah. So I think that would be like very impactful in the route that you're trying to go. And you're trying to be like an actual set teacher or like a sub?
No, a set teacher.
A set teacher. Okay. Yeah.
I can see
that's real cool. Yeah. I can see, him being a cool teacher.
Yeah, for
sure. He'll be like, I can do anything in class.
They're gonna be up in there cupcaking. Or in other words, that's like trying to get to know someone, talking to them.
Yeah.
For our old listeners out there. So AJ mentioned football.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in the football team for 4 years now, right?
Yep.
How has that been as a student? Like, are you sad to give that up?
No, I'm I kind of fulfilled like everything I wanted to. It took me a long time to get here. It took me like 5 years. Like I wasn't like recruited out of high school and stuff. So I'm a little older than everybody. I graduated high school in 2013. So I wasn't recruited. I went to a couple different schools, JUCOs, whatever, and I didn't get here till 2017. So just getting here was like a big thing. You know, everybody got NFL dreams, but like once you have that type of layover, it's kind of like, all right, what's the smaller dreams? Like just playing college football.
Yeah.
So I got here and I started for 4 years. It was draining. Like it's draining. Like doing sports in school and all that, especially like
no, having those like 2 games like back to back in a weekend or like during the week. Oh Lord, you be wanting to just. I'm not gonna say that, but you. Yeah. So it was a lot. It was a lot for you to get hit. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. So that's.
You're not the oldest.
Yeah,
we've heard older.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
don't feel bad.
Yeah. But that's really cool that you still stuck to that dream. I know most people they go to JUCO, and if they don't get somewhere in like I don't know like the next 2 maybe 3 years, they like give up on that. Yeah. So that's really dope.
Yeah, I think even like the football team, you said it earlier. Like the seniors or like the upper people, there aren't that many. Like they quit by that time. Yep. So that does show like a lot in you that you stuck to it.
For sure.
And like, did you have, did you have pro dreams? Like you wanted to go pro?
Yeah. I mean, wait.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that was always the goal. Like where I'm from, you know, some places like people want to like sell drugs, make money. Some people want to rap and stuff. Like where I'm from, like football was our outlet, and then we had guys before us go pro, so it showed us like, man, we can make it out of here. So that was our thing. So you know, once I had the layoff, like I said, I kind of changed. You know, I had to be realistic with yourself. It's like, all right, well, let me just at least be a college football player because I know I can be that.
Okay,
I'm glad you mentioned that. Like the fact that like. Growing up, you see one thing and it's a very one side, like pro NFL player, but like it doesn't, it doesn't actually like kids don't actually think about like the fact that like the actuality of that happening is so rare, and so that actually goes into the topic of today about influencers and role models and people that our generation just has to look up to. So, funny backstory. I was scrolling on Paramount Plus and no, for real. And I saw this show and it was like The Next Influencer. And I was like, what? And so like I read the description and I thought like, this is the craziest thing ever. Like if this is all it takes to be on like a show and to do crazy things, no offense to like anyone on the show or like writers, direct, like, that's your stuff. You do it. But like what, like if that's what you're giving to people and to kids to say like, this is what it takes to be an influencer. And like, this is what people, like, these are what kids are looking at. Cause like kids are on social media all the time. I just find that so crazy. Like, where's the substance of like people that like actually struggled or like, I don't know, work that had like, I'm not gonna say work ethic. Cause I feel like that's saying that influencers don't have work ethics, but like, I don't know. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Like,
yeah, like when we grew up, it was like become a doctor, lawyer, teacher.
Yeah,
like you become somebody that matters. So then the process can continue. Like to become somebody that I guess matters. Not saying that influencers don't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
But like the idea of making it seem as if your life is better than your counterpart
because you're an influencer.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like I don't think that I don't think that those kinds of people or those shows are great for kids or even teens, because even like once social media popped off, like the rate of like, not to be a downer, but like the rate of suicide went up.
I mean,
A lot.
it's
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
like, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think having that show is like a good, like, how can somebody look at those stats and go, yeah, let's make that show. Let's make it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's make it for kids to see that, like they want to be liked by people, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Like having that show literally puts into their mind that they want to be liked by other people. Like that validation from other people is what they need in their life.
That's what it's about for a lot of people, though.
It is.
That's what it's about, yeah.
And you got to do great, like just silly stuff to do it. Like it isn't like, okay, I went to school and I did this and I'm this. It's like, oh, I made this trendy dance. Or I mean, not knocking y'all down, like
no, right.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as who we want our children to be, or the generations, or even myself as a student, because I was listening to the Footprints podcast. Shout out.
I feel like you shout them out every podcast.
I do. No, because I really be listening. And then like their first episodes, or even the second one was really good. But like they talked about mentorship and just people who have influenced their lives. And I was thinking back on myself, and I'm like, it was hard to think of people that like, because I was also not a bad kid. And I grew up like in the church. So I guess in a way, like that was a large part of my influence. But like I can't pinpoint a specific person. And don't at me. Don't. I said what I said.
No, honestly.
But I struggle to find like a figure that like I would want to shape myself into the image of. What about you, Demarian?
I feel the same, but like I never try like to be someone else. I probably take pieces from everybody and put it into myself and make it in my own way.
Yeah.
Type of deal. Like coming up, I didn't really have like, I mean, rappers, of course, stuff like that. But not for my life. As far from my life, it'd probably be like my granddad and like Eric Berry. He was a football player that went to my high school at Creekside. He went to the NFL. And just seeing him and him coming back in the summer times and working out with us where he could be with the other NFL guys. Like this, they tell you like only 2 of y'all gonna make it, or 3 of y'all, but then you see somebody in the flesh like actually come back. And he went to the school and ate here, and he giving you tips on what to do and just keep working hard. So it's like that's all we really needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely more benefit than like social media and just seeing someone and be like, I do.
And see them in the flesh.
Like,
it hit different. So, question. Do y'all think there's a difference between role models and influencers, or like mentors?
Yes. Yeah. There's a big difference. Like no fine line. There's a fine line between a role model and a mentor.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like I think that
we'll just branch them together. I feel like they're the same.
They're kind of the same. But like a role model / mentor and an influencer are they're two completely different categories.
And this influencer term like just came about. Like this is my first time really hearing it. Like maybe last year or two.
Really?
Like people actually like maybe I'm saying too short, but like it hasn't been like 10 years.
It hasn't been long. Yeah.
The word influencer, like they'll put it on their Instagram. Think it's like a real title, like
He said, "I'm not thinking
like that." The real title, like I don't know, like that jump be cool, but I ain't really into it. Like.
The only reason why I don't really like influencers in any way, shape, or form
that is being the influencer hate video.
No. the influencer hate podcast. No. The only reason I don't really like influencers is because I feel like they put on a persona. Like, yes, they put on a persona.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even when they say, "No, I'm being my full true self," yes, but you're putting that on a camera for a whole bunch of other people to see.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's not something that is not only true to you, but it's true to all these other people. Like I feel like when you are who you are, wholly yourself, it should be like with yourself and maybe 5 other close people. Mm-hmm. But when it's like when you put a lot of different like ideas, remedies, when you start talking out your butt about certain things that are going on, especially like your opinions and your viewpoints and stuff like that, that's where it gets skewed, because there are children that are following you.
Yeah.
And if there is a viewpoint that you have that does not align with their family, that might not align with their opinions, you could be skewing that child's thought process into thinking that whatever you're saying is okay. Yeah. And that's why I don't really like influencers. That's the only reason why I like the idea of like celebrities and like having like a star and like having somebody who you can kind of like look up to in like a sense of that, because you know that they're in the limelight. They signed up for that, and they have press and publicists and stuff like that to tell them what to say.
Yeah.
Right.
But you as an influencer, you're doing all that by yourself. And you don't know what is the right thing to say, what's the wrong thing to say. Yeah. You don't know whether or not your words are going to cause a catastrophe or cause a utopia. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't really like that, unless you are signed to a label or you're signed to a guild of some writing or acting sorts or anything like that. Something where you have multiple people backing you up for everything that you say and do.
Yeah.
I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
And try and do it all on your own.
Yeah. I think kids, it's so hard too, because influencer things, kids don't differentiate the difference between a role model or a mentor and an influencer. They look up to influencers. Like all these YouTube personalities. Sure. Yeah. And that's very concerning because an influencer is to like, by definition, like influence you to do certain things or to like buy a certain product, not influence you on how you should live your life.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I think that's what social media like kind of did. It kind of gave them that power, because like all of us in this room are influencers. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all doing a podcast right now. It's not too many on this campus. I just don't know of them. Mm-hmm. So like y'all the number one, and it's like y'all could be influencing other people to do podcasts. You know what I'm saying? But y'all not like getting on the internet with it and like whatever the people in your comments like going with, like you trying to monetize. So if everybody in your comments saying like bash football players, like you gonna get on there and do that to make money, because it's where all your people gonna come from. Right. It's not even your true. It's not organic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't really mess with it.
Yeah, that's a big just being organic. I think is what influencers lack, and it upsets me when they make Netflix shows like Hype House, or when they made that Netflix show like The D'Amelios or something like that.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just like, what?
Have y'all ever seen the girl that plays video games on YouTube? I think she's an influencer or something like that. Like,
no, I think there's a lot of them though that like gamers and
gamer girls.
Yeah, gamers.
Or just like
are those
streamers.
Influencers or not?
I guess. Well, that's a good question.
I think a streamer could be considered an influencer, but an influencer is not every streamer. Like,
because if a streamer get an Instagram page, then like
then they could become an influencer. Yeah. So like, I think that if you knew, or let's say there was a streamer who was like really big on their channel, like with their channel, but like they had I don't know, like maybe like a small followers and following, like they didn't like to have any of their other personal information out there. Maybe they would be somewhat of like a video game. I don't even know. Like a video game face, maybe like a gamer.
Yeah,
you know,
I think YouTubers in general are kind of like becoming influencers themselves. The whole YouTube world, which is also kind of scary because YouTubers are the biggest fake people. Like, just the person, like they beef up things the most for just content like it's just
it's for content.
Yeah, and it's just not out there like.
But the only like thing I will give them is like it's entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying?
It is, yeah.
So that's the only thing I'll get them that. You know.
For that. Like you can't. I guess you can't hate the player. You hate the game, really.
Yeah, I hate the game. I don't hate them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hate on the game. But yeah.
I mean, that is a concern too. Like the way that people obsess over celebrities, over influencers, over just people in general. Using Beyonce as an example because it's just the easiest one. Mm-hmm. No one really knows Beyonce. Mm-hmm. You can listen to all her music you want to. Like, you don't really know the person behind the mic. Mm-hmm. And so you can't be like, oh, Beyonce would never do this or Beyonce would never do that. Mm-hmm. No hate to you. Look. Don't be buzzing in the comments.
Right.
But I'm just saying, it's an example. And she's the easiest one. Like, people will die hard. And, like, as soon as somebody offends her, like, they'll go in the comments and, like, buzz. Right. But it's like, y'all don't really know these people that you're supporting wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. And you can't be like, okay, they wouldn't. Because, like, you don't know them. You just know what they're giving you. And the same thing is with, like, influencers. Like, they are giving you what they want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that celebrities still, you know, even though they do have a lot of people behind them, they still do put on a persona.
Yeah,
you know, but I think that if we're putting like, I think that celebrities created are influencers, like that whole idea of being liked, being loved, being in that limelight. Making money off of just you and your name and yourself and your being and walking in kind of being this person that you're supposed to portray rather than who you actually are. I think that they birthed influencers.
I think too, like we kind of know that though. So like we see a rapper and a singer, we know that this is not who they really are outside of the videos and stuff. Right. But the influencer is portraying that this is how they are all the time and they're not. So that's where it kind of get, you know. Because your mom will tell you, like, man, that ain't real. That's rap. That's TV. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But this is like, they at home, behind their screen. Like, this is really how, you know, this person acts. So it kind of make it, like, blurry a little bit for kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, well, older people can do what they want. Older people sometimes be acting like kids. They be falling out over these celebrities. I'm like, y'all don't know these people. Relax. But, like, it's very scary for kids coming up, too, because they're just more, like, bro, our generation, I feel like our generation was the last generation that grew up playing outside.
Yes.
After that, they on social media, and that's like,
And that's what they. I mean, that goes back to what you were saying. Like, that's just those are their role models now. Yeah. Like when we're playing outside, our role models are football players, basketball players. We're looking at like mathematicians, doctors, lawyers.
I was still looking at Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks.
We sure was. But now they're looking at is a computer screen. So now they're looking at influencers. They're looking, but at the same time, you also have to think that they are looking at like technicians, like computer information systems people, like hackers, dare I say. Sorry about it, but like they are looking at hackers now, and they're looking at like Bitcoin, like investors, like doing like big things with just like money and stuff.
My little brother know more about like stocks and this, that.
Really?
Yes. He like 16, 15 right now.
I need a lesson because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on.
My brother too. My brother, he got into that I can't remember what it's called. It was that they were trading currencies.
Cryptocurrencies.
Forex. No, it was Forex.
Same thing.
And him and his girl got together, and that's what they were doing, and they got a whole apartment together and did all that.
What?
Yes. Then did it. But it at that point they wanted a little bit of stability, and it was a little bit too much for them.
Absolutely.
To do all that. See, I think that kids like the idea of you can make money fast, but they don't understand the actual stress that it puts on your body. Having to wake up at 6, maybe 4 a.m. in the morning because you have to trade with money that's up at the time that you're sleeping. So that was the whole like big thing. Like, I mean, that was just a little bit that I learned about it. And even then I'm just confused.
I am.
Still.
Yeah, I'm like, what is all of this? We all confused.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I thought somebody could break it down. Like, how does this work? Everybody be like, bro, you need to buy some. You need to get into them.
Right.
Like, get into what? This sounds like a scam.
It does.
But back to like what we was talking about with the kids, I think the parents have to evolve too. That's the most important thing. Because, a lot of stuff can be limited. Like even with my daughter, like I tell her to go outside, right? And just chill, like get off the TV, and like she got the iPad on the trampoline, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, give me that. Like she jumping and watching it. Get that. Like, you don't need this. Like, just give me an hour just with none of that, man. Go get some sun. Yeah. Like you just in the house, you know what I'm saying? You're not getting the sun got a lot of vitamins, man. Go get that. Go get that.
Not her jumping in. How she do that?
No, for real.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
That is so crazy. So, I guess I kind of touched into it. So, is there any ones that you all are like influenced? Not you looking at me like that. No. Is there anyone that like you all are like influenced by? Would you say that like you follow as far as an influencer goes, or no?
Mine is regular people, man. I got homies that rap. Shout out Bava, BAVA. Y'all can look him up on Apple
Music. and VA?
BAVA. That's
okay, Bava. Okay. I thought you were about to say two people. I was about to shout out to the boys.
Right. And my homie Turbo too. He raps too. Turbo 2 times. But like, I'm influenced by them, like, just with they sound of music. So like, just in the music arena, like, I'm just influenced by them. I'm influenced by my sister. Like, she went to school and went 4 years straight. She didn't have no hiccups. She got her own spot in Orlando. Like, that's something I'm influenced by. Like, I'm influenced by my homies that played football, graduated, and now they living their life. And I go around them and they managing their money and paying bills. Like, I'm influenced by stuff like that. Not like
real stuff.
People. You know what I'm saying?
People. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel like this.
I don't get influenced by people. I usually like to move the way that I want to move, and I actually find it very infuriating when people tell me to look at the process or look at the way that other people did things and try and do it their way or like the similar. And I'm like, I don't. But that way that they did that is what made that person.
Exactly.
I am not that person.
Exactly.
I want to take a different route. I want to do my
what's your
route.
sign? Like
a Sagittarius.
It's us. I swear to God, that's how I feel. I feel the same way. Like, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah,
he did it like that because it worked for him. If I do it his way, then I won't be me.
Yeah,
and I know that like if you take this path and you'll get there in A, B, C, D, and I take this path and it take me to Z to get there, it's cool. I'm gonna still do it this way. You know what I'm saying?
You said just relax.
No, she only saying that because she a Leo. She outnumbered now.
No, wait till my other two come up in here. We gonna roar.
Don't even, bruh. Don't even. We always talk about signs on this podcast. Like, I feel like at some point we'll always be like, oh, that's Sag or all that Leo.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that there's anybody else who's in here that's like different.
No, I don't. We don't know what Hannah is. We haven't got there yet.
Yeah, we haven't. But yeah, like just speaking on that, like I don't want to go somebody else's route. So that's why I don't really have an influence. I can look up to somebody, like I look up to, I don't know, Dwayne Johnson. I don't really know. I don't really know why I look up to him, other than the fact that like he started from the bottom. Like he always talks about how he had $7 in his account, or he had $7 in his wallet, and then from there just made his own way and like stuck to that. Influenced by Jay-Z because he's one of the only rappers that's making $1 billion off of just like art and music, and just sticking to doing stuff in like art and like the entertainment process, along with Tyler Perry, because he did that same thing too.
Tyler Perry really made an empire yeah. They both did. That is impressive.
Kevin Hart maybe too, because I remember him just saying that he went to a whole bunch of different what are those called, like comedy clubs, something like that. Mics.
Yeah, before he got he
literally went to a couple, said the same exact jokes in each one, and like there was somebody who picked him up, said he blew out the crowd. Like, but in that sense, I just think that if you have a talent, you take with that talent and you go the route that you want to go and make mistakes along the way. Like you're supposed to.
I want to make the mistake.
Yeah.
I hate when people try to get me not to make it. Like, let me make it, man.
Yeah.
Let me make it, I swear.
Yeah.
I really like the way you answer that question, Demarian, because, child, if you ask a child, they'd be like, da from YouTube, probably.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. I definitely
who's your influencer? Did you say?
I didn't. I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of Demarian. I feel like I am influenced by people around, like as far as that I would consider like friends or just. Because I essentially want to learn, like you, Shantoni, Alec, Greg, like y'all influence me because like in a way I want to learn the craft or I want to learn more. And also I just, when you spend time around people, like you said, with your sister and stuff, like you pick up on certain things that they do, whether it's good or bad. Like for me, I never really had a mentor because I saw how other people did things. And from that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I maybe will like, and so I learned from that. And so I guess in a way that influenced me. What they did influenced me.
So you learned off of people's mistakes.
And just what people do in general. But it has to be like someone that's close to me or someone that like I know, like you said, as a real person. I can't do that with a celebrity because it's like, I don't really like, you could say what you want in the song or like, cause like I'm a J. Cole fan till I die. Right. But I still don't know the person.
J. Cole's one of those people too. I was watching the interview. Young Thug was talking about him. It was a good point. He was like, he respect J. Cole a lot because it was a point in time where like the whole world didn't want to hear the conscious music, but J. Cole never switched. He stayed with it. Yeah. And now like, you know, it's coming for him. Like he is who he always wanted to be. He's selling out arenas and stuff. So it's like, just like a person like that, not trying to ride other people's waves and go with the crowd. He just stayed his course and it worked for him.
Yeah, definitely. Told y'all that was that's my dog.
J. Cole hard though.
But I definitely will have to see him in person, I feel like, and get like a sense of him to like be like, oh, okay. No, like I'm actually, I mean, I guess I can still say I'm inspired by him because Tyler Perry and them, like, they really started from the bottom and like they made nothing out of something. And that's definitely powerful.
Didn't Oprah start from nothing?
She did.
She started from
nothing. And now she's just giving out cards.
No.
Oprah, I got some student loans.
Yeah, what? Me too.
You get a loan check. Check.
She should have her own. Does she have her own? What
talk show?
No. What is that called?
Fundraiser?
Like no, not charity. Oh my gosh, what did you give out to students? Scholarships. Does she have her own scholarship?
I wouldn't say no. Man, no telling.
Yeah,
maybe. A woman like her, she probably do.
But it'd probably be so hard.
It probably is really hard.
Celebrities, y'all really just need to be out here doing scholarships.
They should.
Because, like, that's the way to give back to the community. And it's like, if one celebrity has a scholarship and, like, all these people trying to go to school, bro, you know how hard it is to get that scholarship?
They could, do something like that. I think that if children or young adults, whoever you may be, like, if you stick with what you want to do, like whatever your passion is, and stick with it, don't listen to nobody else, you do it the way that you want to do it, legally, do it by the book, I don't think that you'll run into any trouble and you'll create your own path. Like, I think that everyone's goal should be, I mean, not to speak on anybody else's things, but I feel like that's how most people end up becoming the way that they are, like becoming an influencer or a celebrity or anybody in like high power or just like the limelight. Like, you'll get that just doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Jay-Z said that also too, I saw. He said something like that. But my grandma used to tell me, like, if it's in your heart, you know what I'm saying, you would never go wrong if you just keep going for it.
Yeah.
So shout out
to my grandma.
So,
The grandmas is always with it.
The best. Grandma's the best.
I want to see my grandma. That is so cute.
When your grandma, she not.
No, yeah, she alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I want to see my grandma now. That is so cute. No, grandmas are literally the best. Okay, so like, as a student or young adult, depending on, or as like an artist, what is something that you look for in a influencer or a role model or like a mentor? Like, what is something that you strive for?
Honestly, like, just like transparency. Like, I have to like know that they not faking. That's what everything, like, if a teacher is like faking, no. If you talk about the church, right? Like, if the pastor is faking, then no. Like, I had all of my life I've been in the church, and I only had one pastor that I felt like it was cool, and he used to just tell us like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be here next week because I'm going on vacation to Vegas. And
I let him know. Yeah. He said I'm
gonna do what people do in Vegas. So it's like, I bet. Like, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not putting on a facade or anything. So it's like, when it comes to rappers, teachers, athletes, whoever, if they just being themselves, like, I can always respect it. You know what I'm saying? Even Kyrie got a crazy mind. Kyrie Irving, but like, he just being himself. Like, he never changed. Like, LeBron never changed. You know, I like people like that.
Yeah. Did the pastor ever come back?
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah. Did he have a good time?
Yeah, like, man, it's crazy. Like, he flying on a helicopter and everything. You would think he one way, but he just so honest and real. So it's like, yeah, pastor got all this money and he doing this, but like, he's still being real with us. You know, so he'll wear jeans up there sometimes. You know, always in the suit. You know, it's just cool.
That's
cool.
That's definitely
Pastor Craig Oliver, shout out to him too.
Yeah. Sure. Shout out to them, boy. That is really, honestly, a hard quality, and I feel like pastors too. Like, to be like, or just, I feel like counselors, like any like authoritative, like, as a student or as a young adult, I open up more to someone who is transparent and like open to like, okay, this is what I did. This is what I'm still doing. Like, you ain't got to go into details, but like, to be like, yeah, no, I do, like, I struggle with this, instead of being like, so like, oh, but you shouldn't do this. And they're always like nitpicking at everything that you do. Like, just seeing somebody that's like real life going through the same struggles or have gone through the same struggles. Yeah, I'm with you. Transparency, that honesty.
I think I need someone who understands the balance. Oh, I need a green. I think I need someone who understands the balance of life. And what that means is just like, you understand that with every good thing comes a bad. Every, chaos is going to come, like a new world, or just something like that. So like, somebody who can give love unconditionally, knowing that like the person that they're giving the love to might wrong them. Like, I think that truly is someone who cares about your soul rather than like caring about your liking or your understanding of who they are. I think that they just solely care about you and your heart and your soul and your mind and your well-being.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It really is hard to find people that are truly like that will walk every single day with their head up, smile on, knowing that it could come down at any time, if that makes sense. And that could tie into transparency a little bit, just being honest with oneself to end up being honest with everyone else. But at the end, I was trying to connect it to like love, really. Yeah. Just like having an abundance of love is probably one thing that I would need in like a role model, but not too much. So yes, not like that fake love. Yeah.
You can't really go wrong with genuine love. Like, then you're going to be honest. And, like, all those things going to come together.
Like the way that Shantoni will talk crap about how much it takes to do a production. Like if I mess up on my show, you know, he's like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And I'm sitting here and I'm overwhelmed and I'm mad at him. But then he's like, but I need you to understand the process. Like I need you to understand that I'm asking you this so that you don't do it next time. I need you to understand that I'm being hard on you now so that you're tougher later. You know, and then I'm like, okay, you know, okay, fine. I understand and cool. He's a very like tough love kind of person. I don't know if that's how he grew up, but like he is a very like tough love kind of person. And I think that even with having something like that, I think that tough love kind of is the thing that I'm talking about. Like how it's hard, but it's good. It's coming from a good place. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And he's not like because at the end of the days or something, he'll always be like, if you need anything, let me. Not just giving him his flowers.
No, honestly,
this your one moment. Appreciate it. That's if he even listened to it.
I think my favorite role model at this time of my life is Shantoni.
Is it?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
it was. I don't know him like I know him. So you know what I'm saying? But that's good to hear that about him. You know, I know he played football and stuff before I got here.
Yeah.
When I got here, he reached out. Worked out with me and stuff, helped me a little bit and stuff. So that's good.
No, he's a goat.
He is.
Yeah, but that's outside of this. That's it. That's all you get. Bro.
Yeah. that's the only little time you get.
That's it. That's all. Well, now he got it on recording, so he can always listen to it.
He's just gonna crop that part and just keep that for himself. Yeah. Be like, hey, yo, remember when you was talking about me on your podcast?
I'll be like, nope. Also, like, as far as for me too, and I struggle with this too, mainly like in the church and with older people. So they're so rigid and like they're not open and like flexible with like the changes of time or just people and situations in general. They're very much one-sided, like this and this and that. It's like, but no, life don't work that way. You know, sure. We don't all think the same, and things and times do change. So like, there's different ways of solving things, and we might not see eye to eye, but like to be completely closed off and not open-minded is definitely like it's hard to open up or talk to someone that's like that.
It's detrimental to like yourself too if you're not like open-minded. But I think it just comes with old age, man. I haven't really met any old people that's like open-minded.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah. I think my grandma's the only old person that I've met that was like really open-minded like that. Like, because I just told her, you know, about like my sexuality and stuff, and she was just like, because she saw me crying, and so she was getting sad, and so like, but my grandma had a stroke, so like she can't like speak, but like she saw me crying, and she, you know, knew that I was sad and stuff, and then when my mom let her know like what it was, like what I was afraid of or what I was really sad about, like she literally just hugged me. And just like looked at me and then hugged me again and I could just feel her just being like, baby, what is wrong with you?
She's shaking her head
like, girl, ain't nothing to worry about.
Don't like
care.
No,
So it was just like, dang, grandma's really
so
be the best.
what's more important to y'all, like validation from your grandma or your parents? That's the question.
That's good. So that's really good because I am very much like at the end of the day, the only person I have to answer to is the man up above. So and also like, I don't feel like you can if you're going about your life trying to please someone, you just won't be as happy.
You won't be.
So I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
But I think also it's important as young adults or students in general to get out of the mold of trying to be what people want you to be, like your parents. And like, I think just branching out for yourself and discovering yourself and just figuring out a path for yourself. And that doesn't even just have to be parents. It can be like anybody that's around you. Just maybe if you worried about everybody else, it's going to be hard to like focus on yourself and like love yourself unconditionally because you're always trying to fit somebody else's mold.
Yeah, that's real.
So sorry, grandma and parents. Your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, it does, but
I think
it matters, but you still gonna go your way. Either way it go. It's just like it's good to hear it. You know, it should be in the back of your mind.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be like, I don't care. You shouldn't be disrespectful. Right. I would always welcome like the opinions, and I would listen to. I definitely would put it into consideration and like think it through. But yeah, just to like, if I ever had children, I would just be proud of them for being who they were and for trying. And they can take my advice and they don't, they'll learn or they won't.
Yeah. See, I try to make sure I do that now. Like, I try to make sure I'm like neutral. Kind of like still like guide, but like let her have her way, where it's not too much. You don't get out of hand, but like let her control her own path. I never try to control her path. And, like,
but you still parent, without,
parenting without controlling their path is hard.
Yeah,
it's very difficult because you want to let them do as you said, like do what she want to do, but then at the same time set like boundaries, set rules so that she doesn't go too far, so that she doesn't like actually burn herself in the fire, but maybe she can look at it, maybe she can do that little game that we all did when we was kids, but like don't set your hand over it, because then you're gonna hurt yourself. But at the same time, like we were talking about, like with Sages, sometimes you have to make those mistakes in order to actually understand the true fullness. And okay, this is why Dad puts these rules in here. This is why, Dad tells me what to do in certain situations. Like, not because he's trying to control me, but because he's trying to let me know, I've done it before. I'll let you do what you want to do. But I have experienced that before, type. And I think that like, I came in my first encounter with my mom where I wasn't trying to fit that mold for her. Like, she was talking to me about, like, pretty much there was a job offer and she was telling me to go for the job offer. And I was like, no, I'm just going to do what I want to do. And she was like, well, think about it again. I think the universe is trying to tell you something. I was like, no, you're trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
Not the universe.
That's you.
And let me tell you why. It's because the universe, what it did was that it gave me two options. It told me to do it or to not do it.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was my decision. And then she calls me, she FaceTimes me, and she's like, well, I didn't want you to think that I was, trying to like say that I wasn't going to support you in any way or anything like that. And I was like, look, I understand, Ma. I understand. But I have also lived with you for 18 years. Yeah, I understand what it means when you say, well, think about this in this way, or like think about it in that way. When you the moment that you tell me to think about it, you are projecting yourself onto me. And it took me maybe 20 years for me to figure out that that's what you were doing. but in no way, shape, or form am I bashing you, Mom. But like I just need to go. I gotta go my own way. Type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that was the first conversation that we had that was like low key, like real and like very stiff and very like, oh my gosh, like did I really just tell my mom no?
Yeah.
Like I was kind of scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. Like I was like,
we all been there. I think
I still ain't got there yet. I was like,
you got a long way to go. You got a long way to go. But no, but yeah, like trying to have that boundary is definitely, I think, something that we can all learn as young adults going into that position of becoming parents and stuff, or role models to kids. We don't even have to be parents, right. But like for people who are coming to school being teachers, that's something that they can learn too,
Yeah, absolutely. So you all are primarily influenced by like real people in your lives. Fair. Is there someone that has a social media presence that like influences you, or like
David Dobrik?
Nah.
Actually, no.
Hold on.
No.
Choose your words.
No. It was so Zane and Heath. Those were the first two influencers that I saw that I was like, now they don't look like me, but they act like me. And I think that I was more driven by that than a person who looked like me. Until there was this comedian who was on YouTube. She was an influencer. She was gay. but she was like, she had a best friend that was gay, and they were both Black, and their way of like interacting with each other and interacting with the world and just talking about their stories, that was definitely connected more towards me. And I think that with them being comedians, like, and I wish I knew their name, but them being comedians, like, really touched my heart, because I was like, dang, they really are doing it out in LA.
What about you, the old head?
So I'm gonna say an old name. I'm gonna say Lil Wayne, man. Like, really, just especially with music, like a lot of people try to, like, let's say you know what type of song, what type of flow, what type of beat can make you blow up. You put it on TikTok and make you blow up, right? I make music that I would play in my car and listen to. And if the people decide to like it, then they like it. And that's what'll always keep me organic. It'll keep me pure, and I'll always make it. But let's say I try to make a song that I think gonna blow and it don't. That could discourage a person, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always living in my truth with my music. Like, it's for me. I'm making it because I like it. I want to listen to it. And the world will pick up on it after a while, you know?
Yeah.
They'll see that this is my way of doing it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people try to, like, give you advice on music and stuff, or you should do it like this, you know what I'm saying? But I literally did it like this for a reason, because I don't want to be in this mode with y'all. I want to do my own thing.
So what you would say, like, not his style. I actually have never heard your music. Or, like, I wasn't here at the time.
I've heard it.
You have?
That was up.
So, yeah.
That was up?
That
was up? So,
SoundCloud, BNF JR, my latest tape. I dropped last month on there. I'm finna drop another tape at the end of the month.
Yeah, put it on Apple Music.
That's coming. That's everybody tell them that's coming. Yeah. And I got 3 videos out on YouTube. Just look up BNF JR. I'm dropping another one this month too.
So you really like
plugging himself.
I know. He got up here plugging himself.
Yeah.
And just the hard work too. Like I took the same grind I had for football. Like I told you, I stayed down until I came up. It's the same thing with music. Like, you know, I just put that same grind and competitiveness into the music. So it's like, I feel like it's going to work for me. If you like one song on it, then I mean, I'm good. I did my job for sure.
I'll let you know.
All right, bet.
So that actually covers.
That wraps up our show for today.
That does.
For this week.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Demarion.
y'all for having me.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you for coming on.
Did he surprise you, bro?
He did. He sure did.
I was going to keep reaching out. I want to do this better.
No,
He sure did. He sure did keep reaching out. But you need to do that though, like especially with us, because our time schedules and like our workload is way too heavy. So if we see one thing, we'll see it. But when you keep like reaching out, then we're like, oh, we know, like we know now, and so now we put it inside of our list. It honestly, that's the way that you need to do it in business and in the entertainment business. So what you did was perfect.
So you can be like Demarion. And you can email us at ncwcbga@gmail.com if you're interested in being on the podcast. If there is a specific topic that you want to talk about, shoot us an email. If you have a question, shoot us an email. Keep your concerns to yourself. But if you have any comments and questions, email us at ncwcbga@gmail. And yeah. It's been great having you. Yes. Check out Demarion's music.
Yes, please. BNF JR. Yes. That's it.
That's it.
We rolling out.
We out. Bye.
Bye.
This episode is sponsored by North Carolina Wesleyan College. North Carolina Wesleyan College is a dynamic, student-centered, 4-year private college that believes in the value of a liberal arts education. Wesleyan offers undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs preparing students for professional advancement, lifelong learning, and responsible participation in their communities. If you're interested in furthering your education, please visit us at ncwc.edu. Go Bishops!